The first step for company administrators with equipment is going to be going through your user role securities. In this example, we'll set up a company administrator. To do that, we need to navigate to our settings and roles, which you can do from any page within Proven Jobs. Again, that's up here with settings, down to roles. Here you're going to see a list of your existing user roles. For this example, again, we want to update our company administrator security access. So we're going to click on edit. Navigate down to inventory. And here you'll see a few options that we need to go through. The one being primarily used for your day-to-day users will be equipment tracking. For company administrators, we're going to go through each of them. The first one would be equipment. Here you'll see you have some options: create, edit, delete, list view, recover, view. Probably want to make sure all of those are checked for your company admins. Equipment tracking, again, shorter option, but you'll have edit, scan, and view. If you want your admins to be able to edit any transfer dates, then we want to just check that and then hit save. For our equipment manufacturer, again, create, delete, edit, view. And equipment model, same for options. Equipment type, you'll have the ability to recover deleted equipment types. And for a more detailed description of what each of these do, those will be in the associated user manual that you can reference for specifics on each of these permissions. Now that we've updated our user role securities, we have a couple company settings that we want to go through to ensure that equipment is set up properly and ready to go for our day-to-day users. To navigate to company settings, we're going to go to settings from any page in Proven Jobs, company settings. And we're going to scroll down until we find jobs. And then here towards the middle of our screen, just above default alternative status log topic, we have not allow marked lost job with equipment. Essentially, if you check this box, it will not allow a job to be lost coded if equipment is still actively assigned to that job file. So depending on your company preferences, either check that or uncheck that. And we have a very similar company setting to lost job, but it's going to deal with closed jobs. So to find that, we're coming to closing jobs. And here we have not allow closing jobs with equipment. So again, if you check this box, it will not allow a job file to be closed if equipment is actively assigned to that job file. Next, we're going to want to set up a couple extra things for equipment, such as our types, models, manufacturers to be attached to equipment that we create to help us better distinguish between them. To do that, we are going to navigate down to inventory from within company settings still. Here you will see default barcode format. This is applicable if your company plans on scanning equipment in and out utilizing the mobile app. We have three options being our default barcodes. That would be code 128, QR code, and data matrix. Make your selection here and then hit save, and that will become your default barcode format. First is equipment type. So what type of equipment we're working with. Here you'll see the existing list of pre-existing equipment, but in this case we want to create a new piece of equipment type. So we're going to hit create and then enter in the text for that. In this case we will put in a radial fan and hit save. You'll see that added to the list down here, and now we want to hit back to list and go to edit equipment model. Again, pre-existing model is already in the system, and we're going to come up to create to add a new one, and then into our enter text field we're going to do an F188 and hit save, and we'll see that added to the list. And again, we're going to come back to list, and we want to enter in the manufacturer of our equipment. See, we here have Dri-Eaz, Phoenix, Raptor. In this case, we're going to add Alloy. So we'll hit create, enter in our selection here, and hit save. And there we have it. One of the last things that we need to set up before we actually begin creating pieces of equipment to be assigned to jobs is to create our locations, our warehouses, and our trucks. The system will also default to users being locations if you need to assign a piece of equipment to a specific user. But in this case, we want to create a warehouse or a truck. So from any screen within Proven Jobs, you're going to navigate to the menu option Equipment, and then come down to Warehouses and Trucks. Here you'll see we have a box truck in here, a couple warehouses, and a location for out of service so that we can pull it from either a warehouse or a truck to notify our team that it is currently out of service. To create a new one, we're going to hit create. And then our description will be something describing what it is. In this case, we want to do a mitigation van, so we'll call it MIT1. The type would be either a truck or a warehouse. In this case, it is a truck. And if you've built out a barcode to scan equipment to and from a vehicle or a warehouse, you can enter that here. Once you have everything you need, just hit save. And now we have an additional MIT1 van in our warehouses and trucks list. Now that we've completed our setup with our role securities and our company settings, our warehouses and trucks were actually ready to begin creating equipment for our database. To do that from any web page within the Proven Jobs database, you can navigate to the top menu options up here, and we're going to look for equipment, and then equipment again. Here is a list view of existing equipment within our database, and we're going to come to create for a new piece. And you'll start seeing some of the things we had to set up, such as our types, our manufacturers, our models, and so forth. In this case, we want to start with our type, which will be a radial fan or air mover, I guess, for this demonstration. Our location, being that it's a brand new piece of equipment, probably going to be out of our warehouse. But you will see on top of our warehouses and trucks, your users are also default locations that you can add if you are going to ever assign pieces of equipment to them. But again, for demonstration, we're going to attach this to our warehouse to start. Our category, you're going to see a lot of different categories and Xactimate categories in here. For this demonstration, we want to find equipment with a selector of 1. And our description, maybe just something along the lines of a blue air mover. Our asset identifier, if we have built those out and we are tracking asset identifiers. So with this, we can say 1, 2, 3. Max days would be the maximum amount of days that you would typically allow this piece of equipment to be assigned. This will assist you in finding equipment that has been left on jobs through some reporting means and list views. For an air mover, standard probably go with about a max of 5 days. Cost per day, if you want to attach job costs per each of these pieces of equipment, this would be where you're going to attach your cost per day, and the system will auto-calculate that for the days that it's assigned to a job file. For demonstration, we can just throw in 15 here. Again, if you have set up a barcode for this piece of equipment to allow the scanning functionality from mobile to scan it from location to location and to job file, you can enter that barcode in here. Last couple options is our model of air mover we're dealing with here. We're going to say it's our F188, and our manufacturer is Allure Air. Once you're satisfied with your information here, you're just going to hit save, and then you can search to identify that in here. So we'll look for the asset identifier that we created, and there is our blue air mover F188 Allure Air with a max of 5 days.